Good morning and welcome back to the Relife podcast. I am your host, Marcus Moore, and today we are going to take a look at one of the more popular topics on mental health that I'm pretty sure you've heard from just about every self-help channel and TikTok therapist on the face of the earth. But don't get too excited, because today on the podcast, we're not only taking a look at the neurological reasons why routine is important, but we're also going to give you some information that seems like no one else is really talking about that can prove to be more detrimental than not having a routine at all. So stick around for the next 10 minutes as we take a deep dive into our daily routine and explore the implications of it right here on the Relife podcast. Now, before we jump into this, let's first talk about what a routine is, and then we can start understanding how we go about it and the implications of maybe going a little too far with it. So a routine is defined as a customary or regular course of procedure. Okay? We use routines to help adjust to specific circumstances. We also use them to make certain changes in our lives that produce predictable, repeatable results each and every time. In basic terms, this is the law of cause and effect. Routine is simply the ritual that we use to achieve those results. The thing about routine is that every small thing we do is linked together in a chain of choices that result in what we would call an outcome. So let me paint you a picture. If I wake up early, I brush my teeth, I use mouthwash, I make a healthy breakfast, I eat it slowly, I abstain from caffeine, drink plenty of water, I'm probably going to be ready to be as productive as possible at work. If I then take my time driving to work, I listen well to instruction, I focus on my work at the office, I'm going to be a great employee or business owner, okay? If I then come home, make dinner, eat slowly and thoughtfully with my family, we have a discussion about the day, and take a nice relaxing shower or bath before bedtime, I'm probably going to get much better sleep than if I ate junk food, ignored my family, and didn't shower, right? You can call it magic, but here in the world of psychiatry and in the real world, we call it routine. It's effective and it works when you actually do it. Surprise. The problem we seem to be having here lately is that we are ultra focused on becoming the most automated society in the history of our species. So many of you listening to the podcast right now are so focused on the results that you produce each and every day that you don't take the time to appreciate the fruits of those results. You experience them, but you don't really appreciate them. Take me, for example. I'm not immune to this. I want to open up about a couple of things. So I don't think very many people who thrive on hard work and ambition are immune to burnout. Okay, so let's talk about it. From 2012 till 2022, I spent every waking moment of my life making sure that I was the most efficient, successful, hardworking person the world had ever seen. The reality of this was that I was hyper-focused on automating everything I did. I never enjoyed the moment. Since I was maybe, 4 years old, I have lived in the future, never really soaking up the present. I accomplish one task, and then I'm on to the next 5. All gas, no brakes, go, go, go. It all started in 2019 when we decided to do our first soft launch with Relife Academy. I needed to connect with therapists, right? I needed to show them the capabilities that we had. So I did what every business owner does, and I started making calls. That took too long for me, so I shortened the script. Eventually, making those calls became too time consuming. I didn't feel like I was able to work on ensuring that we had full functionality on the back end of our scoring system. Money was really tight, so I decided to outsource our calling. We tried robo-dialers, we tried automated dialers, even third-party calling campaigns. I did everything I could to take that off my plate and give myself more time. So it started as a way to optimize my day-to-day strategy, right? It ended up completely disconnecting me from the company that I worked so hard to build. And that's what this episode is really about. It's not about creating results as quickly as possible. It's about understanding the human experience. We are pushed to automate so many things in business and in our personal lives that we lose touch with the very foundations that helped build those things in the first place. I learned this back in 2021 when we had to go all the way back to the beginning and rebuild our system from the ground up. We had to retrain all of our coaches. We had to look at things in a totally different way. We quit pushing results and we started pushing the process. We went from 6-month milestones to now we've got 12 and 18-month milestones. It took us a while to learn that people don't typically just get it, right? As a matter of fact, only around 2% of the clients that we work with are actually able to implement these routine changes on their own. The reality is that most people need time to acclimate. Even while you're listening to this right now, you're probably doing other things, right? You're driving, balancing a P&L, you're going for a walk, playing with the dog. It's really difficult for us to be in the moment. So when you think about creating a routine, I want you to ask yourself, what is the end goal of that routine? What specifically does this routine allow me to achieve? And most importantly, how long do I have to follow the routine before I'm seeing results? See, the purpose of a routine is to create a habit. Think of routine like faking it, okay? You fake it until you make it. You have a routine until it becomes a habit. So something you do consistently, that's what a habit is, without second thought. You just do it. The purpose of a routine is not to stay in a routine. If you find that you're trying really hard to stay in a routine, you've bitten off more than you could chew, okay? You don't necessarily need to change the objective, though, of the routine, right? What we want to do is we need to learn discipline and we need to learn persistence. You need to break the objective down into smaller, easy to digest pieces. So the big question is, how do you develop discipline and persistence? That's the real question that we need to ask ourselves. And I'm going to tell you, you can't do it by yourself. So many of you listening to this podcast, you think that you're going to read a book or go to a seminar or gather enough information, and it's just going to magically click and make sense. And while that sounds like a logical path to take, that's not how the real world works, right? If you want to learn a skill, you need someone to show you how that skill is created and how it works and how it's executed. I can't stress this enough, okay? I want to rip the Band-Aid off, and you and I, we need to get really real with each other right now. There is no amount of willpower or logic that you can attain on your own that will allow you to grow beyond what you already are. Let me say that again. There is no amount of willpower or logic that you can attain on your own that will allow you to grow beyond what you already are and what you already know. Okay? Humans learn 3 ways: through visual, kinesthetic, that means touching things, and auditory. Okay? We don't live in ancient Greece. There are no muses. There's no Promethean scholar from the heavens that's going to come down and just bless you with knowledge. And let's say that there was. Even if there was, it just reinforces this reality. And that is that we have to learn from other people. We don't just magically know how to ride a bicycle. We don't magically know how to be witty. Football players, sports athletes, they don't just magically know how to execute on the field. They have to train. They have to have a mentor. They have to learn from watching and working with other people. You understand? And the sooner you get this, the better you're going to be at achieving the results that you want. So before I leave you today, I want you to think to yourself, what do I want to accomplish? And then more importantly than that question, I want you to ask yourself, who can I connect with to help me learn how to accomplish this? Some of you are thinking to yourself, I don't have any friends. I don't know anyone. I don't have any idea how to find someone like that. And to anyone that's thinking that or says that right now, I want you to look at your immediate family. And let's say that you're unfortunate enough to have no one in your immediate family. If you can't find anyone, I want you to look to your extended family, your aunts, your uncles, cousins, nieces, nephews. If you still can't find anyone, find a local organization that needs volunteers. There are hundreds of thousands of them across the United States. If you don't want to find a local organization, go to a church. If you're not into church and you say religion's not for me, fine. Go look up a local events and conference, okay? There is absolutely no excuse for you to do everything on your own. You trying to do everything on your own, that is what's keeping you from growing and learning these skills. You understand that? The good news, though, is that we have an army of coaches that are ready and trained to help you overcome that at a moment's notice. And all you have to do is message us or have your therapist message us. All right? Look, I'm going to cut this short. I'm going to keep this simple. My name's Marcus. You know who I am, right here at Relife Academy. And I want to thank you for taking the time to join me today for this episode. Now, until next time, I want you to remember that you are capable of incredible change. But like we always say, it has to start with you. Go ahead and visit www.relifeacademy.com today and let us help you make it happen. That's what we're here for. Let us help train you. We're going to see you on the next episode. Be safe out there and have a great day.